Let's perform a hypothesis test for an experiment involving proportions. We'll do the one proportion z-test. We'll do it 3 different ways in 3 different videos, just focusing on how do you find the p-value, not how do you check the conditions to make sure that this is the appropriate test. So to have a setting, let's say a company claims 20% of their cereal boxes contain live bees. You are skeptical, you think it is a smaller proportion than that. So to test your claim, you purchase 65 randomly selected boxes and find that 11 of them contain bees. Go ahead and start by writing your null and alternative hypotheses. So if P is the true proportion of B boxes, our null hypothesis is that the company is right, it's 20%. Our alternative is that we think it is less than 20%. If we want to find the p-value, which is just the probability that assuming null is true, we would find a proportion of 11 out of 65 boxes or less, a very easy way to just get the p-value is to go to the stat menu, over to tests. Don't do a z-test, but do a one prop z-test, here number 5. And this contains all the information that the problem has given us. So p subscript 0 is our null hypothesis proportion, so that's 0.2. X is the number of things in our sample that we said yes to. So in this case, it would be the number of boxes that contained bees, so that's 11. N is the total sample size, so that would be 65. And this is our alternative hypothesis. And our alternative wasn't that we don't know, maybe it's more bees, maybe it's fewer bees. Our alternative hypothesis was that the proportion is less. So we'll select that one. I'll show you what both draw and calculate look like. So draw will actually draw the sampling distribution. So we can see that it's not a very small p-value. We got 26%. It also tells us the z-score that would be associated with this. That's a standardized test statistic that tells us how many standard deviations away from the mean our particular p-hat was. But we'll get to that in the other 2 videos. A nice thing to write on an exam, no matter how you find your p-value, is find the standardized test statistic, find the z-score, and then write the probability of our z-score being less than the actual result that we found is your p-value. And so then you would look at this one to decide, do we reject null or fail to reject null? Come back in the next video to see a little bit in more detail, what is this menu actually doing to find the p-value?